Welcome, everybody, to San Nazaro. We are round 3 of the F2 World Championships. I am sat here in the commentary box, and I have a legendary F1 racer with me who is going to help me with the race, give me the technical lowdown, what the team strategies are. His name is Morten, and I'm not even going to give you his surname because I can't say it correct. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us what your history is.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Shelley. My name is Morten Bjerknes. I'm from Norway, and I have been playing with race boats since 1974. So last year I had my 50th anniversary on this one. I used to race myself way back in the 80s, where I raced what we called Formula Grand Prix and Formula One in from 1983 to 1990. Since then, I have been the UIM commissioner for Formula One, and lately, the past 15, 16 years, I have been the team manager for my daughter, Mette Bjerknes, who is racing here today. But right now, I'm just enjoying myself and together with Shelley, and we are commentating this race. This is going to be so great. This is a very, very good course to drive on, and we will have top speed. The only problem I can see for today's event is that there's a lot of debris in the river. There has been some heavy rainfalls the last few days, which brings with it a lot of debris. Here for a few hours ago, we even had an oil barrel coming down the river. So at the moment, it looks pretty good, and the boats are going into the water as we speak. Back to Shelley.
Thank you, Morten. So, yes, my name is Shelley Jory, and I am a world champion powerboat racer, but I'm from the offshore world. Circuit is pretty new to me, and I'm learning it fast. But yes, I am loving this. The fact that we have 22 boats on the start grid is incredible. And the spectators down here in San Nazaro for the UIM F2 World Championships, round 3. We'll give you a lowdown in a minute of who's actually running and riding and who is in the lead. And oh my gosh, have we had some drama today. We've had drama in the pits. We've had drama on the water. It has been incredible. And quite honestly, I think they're still discussing how the drama is going to evolve and what the rules should be on the dock as we speak. Peter Moran is on our screen, and he is actually one of our dramas that's happening. So Peter Moran is leading the World Championship for us here in F2, and in qualifying today, he admitted himself on interview to me, he totally forgot he was an F2 and not F1, and he added weight to his boat during qualifying, which resulted in a disqualification. So he has gone to the back of the grid, but at least he can race. So huge drama. We also had an engine change from Matt Polframan and Matilda Wilberg. So both those people who are in the top 3 of the championships are at the end of the grid. So everyone is literally bunched up now. Peter Moran is in the 20th position of the grid. Let's start at the top, though, because Giacomo Sashi did an absolute astounding qualifying. He knocked 1 second off everyone's time in Quali 3 this morning. So he is on pole, Giacomo Sashi. In second place on the grid, we have Rashid El Kamazi from the UAE. Third place, Hilmar Wilberg, Matilda's brother. Fourth, Roop Vertanen. Fifth, Stefan Arand. Sixth place, Nelson Moran. In seventh place, we've got Edgaris Rabaco. Oh, I'm going to have a fun day today, aren't I? In eighth place, Duarte Benavente. Ninth, Owen Jelf from the UK. 10th place, Johan Osterberg. 11th, Salam Al-Yafi. 12th place, Andre Sauvang. And I'm just going to move down my screen here. In 13th, it's none other than the beautiful Mette Birkenes. 14, Luca Formerzang. 15, Sam Whittle from the UK. 16, Alexander Lindholm. 17, our own Matt Palfreman from the UK, who did a storming qualifying, but then blew his engine up, had to change it in the last 2 hours, and has been moved back down the grid. 18th place, Matilda Wiberg, won the last round in Lithuania. Did an absolute storming race and actually was the top of the podium and very well deserved. She's also had an engine change, moved down to 18th place. 19th, Tobias, brand new boat, brand new 4-stroke engine. Not running that well, and he's struggling to dial it in. There we have Giacomo on the screen here, who is in our pole position. And in 20th place, as we said, Peter Moran. There we see him, Peter, literally gone from hero to zero in a matter of hours. And look at the debris that's coming down the river. This is not good sight, is it, Morten? This is what we've been contending with all weekend. Why we didn't have qualifying yesterday and why everything is being sort of jammed into today. Very long day, packed, quite tiring for the racers, and it's hot. The heat is, the sun is out. We have lots of spectators here. The tension is high, but we do not need that coming down the river.
No, thank you, Shelly. No, you're right about that. That has been this weekend's headache with all that debris coming down the river. I believe now that they have some patrol boats crossing the river up and down, further up the stream then, to try to pick up so much as they can of the debris, so it won't end up down here where we are. So, but absolutely, if you hit something like, well, what you have on the screen now is a pile of branches and logs, and if you hit that with a boat in the speed of 180, 200 kilometers per hour, you are in big trouble. The boat may explode because there will all of a sudden be a hole in the sponsons, and the water will come in and explode the boat. But, okay, the driver will probably not suffer any injuries, but the boat will be damaged, and you will spend a lot of money fixing it again. And also, if you're not damaging your boat, you can easily damage your propeller or gear case by hitting something like this. So the rescue team and the snowmobile, not snowmobiles, we don't have snowmobiles, we got water scooters. They are now cleaning the race course for all the debris which is floating down at the moment. Thank you.
Morten, I just wanted to mention to all our viewers at home on YouTube, this is the beautiful houseboat of the Abu Dhabi team. And this is moored here permanently in San Nazaro, and it's where the Abu Dhabi F2 and F1 team do all their training. It's where Guido Capellini himself, the team manager, trained for his Pavia Venice race that he's just done. I was very fortunate to see that beautiful boat last night in his factory. He's actually just broken the record for the Pavia Venice race. He did it, it was incredible, the statistics that he actually did the race in. 100%. I'm going to find those statistics for you because they were pretty impressive. Yes, he did 400. He had 400 kilometers an hour average speed. No, sorry, he did it. The distance was 400 kilometers. His average speed was 207 kilometers an hour. He did it in 1 hour, 41 minutes, which was a world record. And we spoke to him last night and he said, Shelley, you know what the biggest problem was? He said it was the concentration, the adrenaline, and he basically said he had brain ache for 1 hour, 41 minutes because it was going so fast and everything was happening so quickly, and there were corners and there was debris in the river. And I mean, we all know what it's like to drive a boat at 207 kilometers an hour. There's a lot going on and it's happening fast. So yes, that is the beautiful houseboat there that the Abu Dhabi use for all of their training. We have one of the racers there looking very worried as he looks up and down the course at all the debris being dragged across. I cannot believe this. We actually have it looks like a whole floating woodland there. Luca's just stretching his neck out because these racers go through a massive G-force, don't they?
Yeah, well, you're going into the turns, like I said, with 180, 200 kilometers per hour, and you turn in that speed, and then you will have 5 to maybe up to 6 Gs in the corners because you're going in on full throttle. So having a strong neck is definitely what you need in a boat like this. Some drivers do connect their helmets. Well, they all have some kind of connection with the helmet down into the harness you're putting on, but that doesn't help so much. You need to have a strong neck. And now I can see that coming down just in front of us here now, the debris that you saw on the screen earlier, they're now towing that away to clean up most of the river. They are doing a very, very good job at the moment and cleaning as much as they can.
Can you take the microphone more nearest
Yeah.
to the walls?
I've just got that message. It's not picking up. You're down here. You can see the speed the river is flowing down the edge there. This is the River Po in San Nazaro, which is a beautiful setting for our third round of the UIM F2 World Championships, but is really causing us some grief. We might get it into the camera shot in a moment, but we are literally dragging, well, it looks like a whole tree. The jet ski is dragging a whole tree across the course, and I don't need to explain to anyone watching this what that would do if an F2 boat hit it at 120 mile an hour. Great footage here from the drone. We can see all the spectators there. That is that's Peter Moran's RPM hospitality tent, which they have done an amazing job with. It's beautiful down here on the riverbank, and they're entertaining all their guests today. So I feel so gutted for Peter, because he admitted, he put his hand up, he made a mistake, and he's at the bottom of the grid at the moment. Look at all the logs flowing down the river. Now, the reason why we've got all of this debris in the river, you might say, well, has that never happened before? And they've raced in San Nazaro before. The problem is that we had torrential rain and thunderstorms for about 2 to 3 days before we all arrived on Friday. And the river is very high. We've got all the water and rivers all coming down from the mountains, and the local villages all flowing into the River Po. And unfortunately with it, it's bringing a lot of mess.
Yes, that's correct, Shelley. I don't know how many cubic meters of water that passes through here every second, but there is quite a few. I believe the speed on the water now is about 5 to 6 knots. So that will also be a factor to take care of while racing, because you're turning against the current in very, very high speed, and that could affect your boat and the way it handles on the turns. We are getting closer now to the parade lap with all the drivers. They will go around the race course in reversed order, and then we'll line up then on the pontoon for the start of this race, which should be around 4 o'clock. There might be a little delay because of all the debris, but they're doing a great job at the moment.
So Giacomo Sacchi is on pole position, and he is going to be the one to watch. He did an incredible qualifying session, knocking a minute off of everyone else's time. Sorry, a minute. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? A second, but which was still amazing, and shocked everybody in the pits. So our championship leaders at the moment are, let's find you that. We have got Peter Moran in position 1 with 30 points. Hilmer Wilberg, who, by the way, it's his F2 debut season this year. He has come from F4 up to F2 to join his sister Matilda. There we have Matilda on the screen. Now that's rather concerning. Why she isn't in her overalls? Okay, she was having problems after qualifying and didn't actually make it to do a run in qualifying 3. So that's really bad news. We may have lost Matilda. I can't believe that. She won the last round. Absolutely did a storming race and has now... doesn't look like she's running this afternoon, which is really big news. She's running 4th in the championship. She's actually currently joint 3rd, believe it or not, with Matt Palfreman and Matilda Wilberg. They've both got 22 points. Hilmer, the brother, has got 24, Peter Moran 30, so not a lot in it. It then drops considerably to 5th place with Stefan Arand on 11 points, sorry. And then Andre Solvang, his teammate, has got 10 points. So keeping it close together in the Team Sharjah, they are literally 5th and 6th place consecutively. Rupa Vertanen, 7th place. 8th place, Edgaras Riabko. Do you know what? I was doing really well with the names this morning. Now it's all going to pot. Edgaras Riabko. Lovely guy. Did a great interview with him earlier. Super boat. Watch out for his livery. It's all metallic and really shines and stands out on the course. 9th place in the championships, we have Nelson Moran. 10th, Giacomo Sacchi. So the guy who's on pole today, who did a storming qualifying, is actually only running 10th in the championship. So he's going to really want to get up there, get some points in the bag this weekend and set himself up for the last 2 rounds in Portugal. 11th place is Thomas Cermak. 12th, Nikita Leek. 13th, Meta
Berknes.
Yeah, I'm going to let him say that. 14th, Rashid Al-Khamez from the UAE. 15th, our very own Owen Gell from the UK. 16th, Duarte Benavente. 17th, Sam Whittle. 18th, Johan Osterberg. 19th, Mansoon Al-Mansouri. 20th place is Tobias. 21st place is Alexander Linderholm. 22, Peter Zak. 23rd position, Tino Leto, and 24, Egdegers. And I don't say that right.
Well, his name is Egdegers Douglas. He's from Lithuania, so they do have some, strange names over there. The names are not nice, and it's terrible for us to pronounce. Oh my God, can you see in the screen now all the big log coming into the Stefan Arand's boat? No, it's not Stefan. Oh, that's Peter Moran. He's a bit concerned. Looks like it.
Well, in honesty, if I was Peter Moran, I would want this. I know nobody wants to not race, but for position and points, it'd be quite in his favour if the race didn't run. Just saying. There's a lot of people today who are at the top of the championship. Literally, we've got Peter, Matt, Matilda. Matilda looks like she's out. Peter Moran is in last place. Matt Palfreman is way down the grid. And they were all fighting for the championship, wanted to set themselves up for a good position and good points to go into the last 2 rounds in Portugal. So I wouldn't put it past them all to secretly be thinking, just send the logs down and don't let this race happen. I know it's what I would be thinking, so let's be honest. Then we have Team Sharjah, boat number 27. That's Andres Solvang. Going along the line there. There's Edgaras Riabko's beautiful, shiny metallic boat. Behind that's Meta. And I think behind that was one of the Abu Dhabi team. Duarte Benavente there, number 45. He's hoping for a good weekend. He said to me earlier, I just need to get back on top. I need to get back on the podium positions. He's not having a great season. And he said 24 wasn't great for him either. There we have Peter Moran, Giacomo and Stefan all sat on the bank. There's obviously some serious delay, Morten, because I think they would all actually be getting in their boats at this point, because we should have had a boat parade by now and starting in 4 minutes. And I think it's definitely the river that's causing the problem.
Yes, that is probably the problem, that they have to clean the river. But I believe all the drivers are already in the boat. And I was just informed that 1 minute before the parade lap starts, we will have the Italian national anthem be sung here in the pit. So that's going to happen pretty soon. And then as soon as that's done, then the parade lap will take place. And then they will line up on the pontoon in the right starting order. And then the red light will come on. They will have a 2-minute signal that will go on for 1 minute, and then go to 1 minute signal, and then down to 30 seconds, and then we turn on the red lights, and between 5 and 12 seconds they will go off. The drivers don't really know exactly when it will go off, but it's between 5 and 12 seconds, and then the start is on. So yeah, this is going to be one exciting afternoon here in San Nazaro, definitely. Here we have Tobias Mutter-Koss discussing with Andres Solvang's dad on the pontoon. And you can see that in front of that boat, there's a big logger in the middle of the water, bouncing up and down. Oh yeah, you were right about what we might have lost Matilda. Matilda is now discussing with Mette, the 2 female drivers we have in the World Series.
You can see some of the drivers with the umbrellas there, stood on the bank or sat on the boat. It's really warmed up today. The rain cooled it all down, and yesterday was very, very pleasant. And today the heat is rising, as well as the river. So hold tight, everybody. We will be able to give you a warning. Sam Whittle there from the UK, standing on the umbrella, trying to stay cool. These poor drivers are in fireproof overalls, racing booties, gloves, and then on top of that, they have a capsule life jacket suit. So, you know, they've got a few layers there. It's fireproof, it's hot, it's thick, and the tension is rising. Nelson Moran there, lovely picture of him sat on his boat. I love those, the Gulf colours. It's a real classic, isn't it?
Yes, you're right, and it's nice to see that Gulf is still sponsoring motorsport, which you said that's a classic one, because they used to do that way back in the 60s. We can remember all them Le Mans cars going with the Gulf sponsorships on them, and still they're doing that. So yeah, that is very good. Oh my God, there's a big log coming right in front of us here now. Oh. I think you're right about what you said earlier, Shelley, that the conditions on the river is even worse now than it was this morning. There's a lot more debris coming down. So I really hope that the organizers and the UAM officials will run the race, but still it can happen that the conditions are so bad that it's not safe to run it.
Fantastic view there from our drone flyer, who's actually sat right behind me. He's doing a fantastic job. Look at that view of all of the F2 World Championship boats here in San Nazaro on the River Po, which is running very fast. Look, you can see the tide running. That's why we're just getting so much stuff down. We have all the local organisers out with all the boats on the river trying to clear the course, but the problem is it's a moving problem, as they say. That's Tobias' team, number 77 there, holding him, and Edgaris was in the background. Sharjah, number 18, Stefan Aran in the front of our pitch there, and all the racers, most of them are all stood on the bank, trying to stay cool under the umbrellas and the trees, just waiting for that go, go, go. I feel sorry for the crew at the moment, all stood on the dock. That's Matt Palfreman on our screen now. Again, another engine change, move to the back of the grid. Lovely shot from above there. And all our cranes and our safety teams. Yeah, I feel sorry for the... What do you call the pit crew, the pole guys? What is that? Is there a description for somebody who stands, or is it just pit crew, Morten?
That's your pit crew. That's only your pit crew. The guys on being on the pontoon. So you need a special pass to go on the pontoon. Not everybody's allowed there, because normally those pontoons they are really wobbling. But they're just pontoon guys. Pit crew.
Well, the pontoon guys, pit crew, the guys all holding those poles, I feel for them. I know they're in their shorts and their T-shirt, but they have no shade, stood in the sun and just waiting. It's a case of standby to standby at the moment.
Bene, allora vi chiedo ancora un attimo di pazienza, perché potete comprendere non è volontà nostra di ritardare la partenza, ma la situazione vede ancora qualche problema e quindi c'è ancora un isolotto che si sta muovendo. Auguriamoci che sia l'ultimo, perché veramente se no andiamo troppo avanti, quindi credo che voi, come del resto noi, non vediamo l'ora di poter chiudere, e mi auguro nel modo migliore, questa 2 giorni, che ci ha sicuramente visti impegnati tutti. Vi ringrazio perché, torno a ripetere, un pubblico così non lo vedevo forse dalla Formula 1, quindi veramente sono entusiasta di questo risultato. Vuol dire che la comunicazione ha funzionato anche in questo momento. Siamo alla fine delle vacanze, quindi magari molti sono rientrati prima, quindi si fa piacere. Quindi manterremo la data di fine agosto come nostra data di riferimento anche per la stagione 2026, qualora riuscissimo ad avere ancora, e questo ce l'auguriamo, l'assegnazione di una prova del campionato mondiale, appunto, della Formula 2. Quindi vi chiediamo semplicemente di pazientare un attimo, sarà nostra premura appena ci danno l'ok. E lo vedete, perché io voglio come sempre riprendere con il nostro inno, che sarà l'apertura appunto di questa prova, del terza prova del campionato appunto mondiale della Formula 2, Gran Premio Emilia Romagna, di cui ringrazio ancora la TP e la Regione Emilia Romagna per il sostegno che ci danno a noi e alla Federazione Italiana Automotive, che ci permette poi di poter organizzare queste giornate così, devo dire, a alto livello, perché San soltanto qualche anno fa mai si sarebbe aspettato di vedere la Formula 1, mai si sarebbe aspettato di vedere uno spettacolo della Formula 1. Non hanno chiamato, non mi hanno detto niente. Ci può stare, mi auguro che il tutto finisca nel modo migliore. Quindi grazie ancora, ci sentiamo più tardi per il commento della prova. Grazie.
Well, I think that was just our Italian commentating team that are sat next to us here in San Nazaro, just giving an update to the poor spectators who are all stood out here on the riverbank waiting for some action. They saw some of the action this morning in qualifying, which was incredible, and they're just desperate to see the race happen. I think he was just giving him an update. Unfortunately, my Italian is 0, so I'm hoping he was just telling them what's happening and what the delay is.
Terza media, se ne hanno voglia, capiscono. Io guarda che con la quinta, sia l'anno scorso che quest'anno, perché la quinta fanno il corpo umano.
Avevi detto che avevi preso i dischi? Perché no, io sto cercando i miei.
We are sorry for this delay, ladies and gentlemen, but the fact is that the debris is still coming down here more and more, and most of it is coming down on this side of the river because of the curve in the river and the current. And that's exactly on this side where all the boats are lined up for the start. So everything, all the debris will then be in front of the starting boats, and that will ruin a lot of gear cases and propellers in the start if they run it over the debris. So at the moment, the rescue boats are really busy with collecting all the piles and woods and whatever it is. There's a lot of it.
Sento di merda loro. No, ti si sente di merda. Io ho capito, nello zaino, tasca esterna, pochettina nera. Che spesa che dare. Se no Marca c'è anche una SSD. Mi sa che è mezzo qui. 20 minuti? Alex, 2 minuti hanno detto. Niente, ho fatto. Sì, allora attenzione 1. Meno cambio lento e torno indietro, se vuoi te ne faccio ancora uno. E guarda dove sono. Piano piano.
Allora è ufficiale che strabacia.
Chiamiamoci così. Quando vai all'albergo, che
Fai partire l'inno?
dicono speaking no, I speak Italian.
Oddio uccelli.
Allora, in Malesia ho fatto 10 giorni su Burkina Faso.
C'ho gli hard disk dentro. Sì, l'ho messo, ma devo trovarli perché c'ho roba importante dentro. Ho scritto Marco Cantini e lui deve fare. Sì. Allora, ditemi che cosa fare.
Il secondo giorno, siccome c'era dopo quello lì, moglie e una coppia di Bologna di cui lei lavora in lingua.
No, allora, uno deve stare. Vogliono fare il
Si è spaccato la testa.
Allora Marco,
Si è spaccato la testa. Non ti serve la testa lì.
praticamente il secondo giorno, che era sempre diciamo lezione, ci parlavano in italiano. Che in mezzo alla foresta del Borgo. Cioè,
sì, vai tranquillo.
So let's entertain you a little bit with some fun facts, Morton, about the races. Did you know that Owen Jelf is a black belt in Taekwondo? And he has a chemistry degree from none other than Oxford University. I'm going to stop now and let the Italians do their announcement.
Dei bolidi della Formula 2 vedremo 20 imbarcazioni partire via per questo Gran Premio Emilia Romagna. Dobbiamo sicuramente, come già diceva il papà Ezio, ringraziare sicuramente tutti il gruppo dei volontari e sicuramente il supporto della Federazione Italiana Motonautica e non ultimo ma sicuramente importante il supporto che la Regione e Sport Valley il risultato è vedere voi tutti appassionati sia collegati in streaming che lungo il fiume Po. Quindi adesso a pochi minuti dalla parata, come tutti i grandi eventi, vogliamo aprire questo evento con l'inno nazionale e quindi avremo il nostro Valentino che ci onorerà di questa opera, perché bisogna dire che è proprio un'opera, quindi tra poco daremo il via.
Raccontare quando c'è la Gabriella Chironi, perché la Gabriella Chironi finché messa andiamo alla Mercedes e sbaglio.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, back to my fun facts, just to keep you entertained. Yes, Owen Jelf, black belt in Taekwondo and also a chemistry degree from Oxford University. His boat is actually built in Booster, which is local to here, apparently. So a very local built boat on home waters. Let's hope he does well. What else have I got? Matilda and Hilma Wilberg are brother and sister. Matilda was here first, racing in F2. Her brother has joined her this year and basically beaten her. Probably not great over the family dinner table. Matt Polframan has he's been racing since he was age 11, but he wasn't a champion till the age of 19 in Formula 4-stroke. Andre Solvang there putting his crash helmet on. Well, the racers know something. They look like they're going to go racing, even if we don't know. But they are certainly putting crash helmets on and getting into their boats. This is a great sign, everybody. Meta, one of our lady female racers, but actually the only one we've got on the circuit today. She was a championship rifle lady, shooter. She was into shooting before she was into powerboat racing and actually didn't get involved in powerboat racing until she was age 18. She wasn't interested at all as a child, even though her family were all from the racing world, and her dad is very kindly sat next to me, helping me with the Formula 2 statistics and mechanics and racing strategies that they all get up to here. Now, in the Abu Dhabi team, we have Salem, who is from the UAE, and it's his debut today in F2. I'm going to be quiet now because we now have the Italian national anthem.
L'Italia celeste dell'elmo di Scipio se cinca la testa, dov'è la vittoria e porta la chioma, se schiava di Roma il Dio la creò. In giaccia forte, son pronti alla morte, son pronti alla morte. Abbiamo forte, son pronti alla morte, son pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò sì.
Eccoci, dopo l'inno nazionale prepariamo le imbarcazioni delle autorità, si sono staccate dal pontile, quindi stiamo veramente entrando nel clou del Gran Premio Emilia Romagna, campionato mondiale di Formula 2. Questa è la terza tappa. Stamattina
That was the Italian anthem sung beautifully here in the pits, and that means that the parade lap will start any minute now, because I was told, as I told you earlier, that this should take place about a minute or two before the parade. So hopefully then we will see the boats on the water going slowly around and then line up for the start in this Grand Prix here in Italy.
I'll just finish my fun fact. Salem from the UAE racing for Abu Dhabi, F2 debut today. He is a firefighter in Abu Dhabi. So very, very brave man and lovely, lovely guy. So wishing him lots and lots of luck. Rashid, his teammate, has been coaching him for the last year, he says, and watch this space because I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Racers are just in their cockpits now, getting ready, and the tension is rising.
Yes, and you can see the drivers are now being strapped in. They're sitting inside this carbon Kevlar cockpit, strapped in a 6-point safety harness. So, and they can't do it themselves. They need help from the crew to strap them in real tight, because if you don't sit tight in a boat like this and you're bouncing in 180, 200 kilometers per hour in the turn, you will end up sitting loose, and you can't do that. You need to sit tight all the time. This is Edgar Azriabko, ready to go into his boat, and you can see what's hanging on his back. That's the neck support, which is then being strapped in by the harness. That is a mandatory safety issue we need to have in the boat. And also we have in the boat, we got oxygen for the drivers if they are conscious and upside down and can't get out of the boat. They have oxygen bottle in the boat. They have kill switches that will stop the motor. They have emergency exits handle inside the boat to take the top off. You can see that there's a canopy over the driver that will come off after you pull the emergency handle. So there's a lot of safety things in these boats, and I said, for those of you might have heard us this morning, I was also talking about the airbag system, which is the big airbag, a balloon located just behind the driver's head in the boat. So if the boat is upside down for 4 seconds or more, there is a release system, automatically will be released, and compressed air will be blown into that into that balloon and blow it up. And on the same time, we will have hatches back on the boat opening to get the water in, so that means that the driver's head will be above water within just a few seconds. And this is a safety thing that is being checked before every race or scrutineering, so they check that all these things works all the time.
And didn't we have in qualifying today one of those boats, it actually went off by accident and he had to, was it Hilmer? Not in F2 this morning we had a safety one in qualifying, one of the boats that the hatches opened and it filled up with water. I think it was Hilmer Wiberg, and he had to suddenly go in during qualifying and get his strops on and get lifted out because he was actually sinking.
Yes, that's the trouble, that sometimes these hatches on the back of the boat may come off while you're out there driving the boat. And as long as you're driving it on plane, you're flying it, there's no problem. But as soon as you idle it or you go to the pontoon, you might sink, because then the water will come into the boat.
Okay, I hate to say this, Morten, but the picture I'm looking at, which we're all looking at home, we had drivers in cockpits with crash helmets on it. Now I've got drivers getting out of cockpits, taking crash helmets off. So Sam Whittle, he's out of his boat. Nelson is out. They're all back on the pontoon. We have Rashid here talking to Sam Whittle. This is not a good sign. I thought we've had the national anthem, which was sung beautifully, and I thought we would go then. This is This is more tension than the actual race right now. it I must thank the Italian Federation here, Italian Federation Motor Nautique, who have very kindly allowed us to join them on their commentary table. We have Italian commentary going on at the same time as English, so thanks to the tech guys who have sorted all this out for us. They've done an amazing job, So whatever language takes your fancy, if you're good at Italian, listen to them. Look at, we've got all the races here. We've got Meta, we've got Pelle Larsen, the UIM commissioner. We've got Edgaris, Stefan, Giacomo, Peter Moran. Yeah, we're drivers meeting on the pontoon to quickly discuss how we're going to cope with this and what is going to happen. It's such a shame. Qualifying was so exciting this morning. I cannot explain to you. We literally had, in quali 2, we had less than 1 second between all of the top 10 boats. It was so tight. In quali 3, Giacomo actually went ahead and actually put a second between him and first and second. But everyone else, again, less than a second between them. Everyone was push, push, push. And it was real tight racing. And it was going to making for one hell of a race this afternoon. That's Pelle Larsen there, the UIM commissioner. We actually have Raphael Chuli here, who is our president of the UIM, here with us here in San Nazaro. He's been on a very busy schedule. He's been all over the world recently. I think he's flying off to China next week. He's just been doing the motor surf, water sports and moto surf championship over in China. It's our safety crews down there. We have the Bergamo Scuba Angels, who are the safety team here in Italy. They're an Italian medical team, but they actually do safety for powerboat racing all over the world. And they've done it for many, many years. They've even saved me once, and I'm very, truly grateful for that. Great guys of doctors, paramedics, and extremely well trained in the boat handling and retrieving racers from the water. It's one of our youngest racers there on the screen. That is Andre Sauvang talking to Giacomo. Stefan is his teammate, just to the right of him. Oh no, that's Hilmer, sorry. Oh, having a little cuddle there with Matt Pofferman. They're having a little team hug there. What is so lovely about the F2 World Championships is on land, everyone is family. Raphael Trulli was actually saying this today, that F2 is his favorite class for the family atmosphere, the camaraderie between all the racers. And it is true. It really is true. On the land, everyone helps each other. Everyone wants to see you out on the water. But oh my goodness, when that light goes on, it is war. And everybody races hard and fast and wants to win. But as you can see, right before the race, tensions are high. Are we going to race? Are we not? Great camaraderie between the F2 World Championship drivers. Yep, that's a log floating down the river, Morton.
Yep, and it keeps on coming logs. I thought for a second here that it was going to be better, but at the moment I can see just in front of us now there's a big pile of bushes coming, and it never stops. It never stops. We were hoping yesterday, since we cancelled qualification yesterday, that the river would clear out during the night, but it hasn't, not at all. In fact, it's got worse. But it seems like the drivers, they're having a good time on the pontoon. There's a lot of laughs down there.
I feel sorry for Giacomo Sacchi, because obviously he did a an incredible qualifying session. It's not been his season so far, but today was his day. So I really hope we can get out and give him a chance to show us what he can do.
Yes, because as you said earlier, Shirley, that this morning's qualifying, he was doing, well, most of the drivers were doing lap times around 40, 47, 46 seconds. And then he went out on Q3 and he set a 45-second lap. And then Matt Palfreman also did that. He did another 45 lap. And then all of a sudden he went out, Giacomo, and did 44.06.
Those were our very young racers here, youngest racers on the circuit. Basically the next generation coming through that will be racing for the next good 30 years, I would imagine. And I tell you what, they're all pretty fast and a force to be reckoned with. Stefan Aran especially is, a lot of people have said to me, watch him. He's going to win a world championship and he's going to do it pretty soon. He's only in his early 20s at the moment. Another good friend of yours, Morten, Guido Cappellini, is the team manager for the Abu Dhabi team, the two-boat team. He is the F2 5 times world champion. 10 times world champion. Apologies, Rashid, who is on his team, is 5 times F2 world champion. But Guido, apologies Guido, is 10 times F1 world champion. I think you could quite honestly say he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Here we have our young guys here. This is a great picture. This is the young racers, Hilma and Andre, talking to Duarte Benavente, who is, I think he's the eldest racer on the circuit, but hugely qualified, lots of experience, lovely guy, and always prepared to hand over his advice to the young ones. Owen Jelf, Tobias, Owen Jelf, obviously, he is our team representative for all the F2 drivers. Very diplomatic guy. And black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah, you were talking about Guido Cappellini, who has the factory of his boats. He's making the DAC boat, which is manufactured just around the corner here. And lucky for us, Shelley, yesterday he took us for a sightseeing at his factory, and that it was really impressive. So with his 10 times world championships, Guido knows what to do. And I know that several has done this, but Guido is the first one I saw that did a 360 backflip with his boat, landed on the sponsons and kept on racing and won the race.
No way.
Yes, that's true. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, the parade is on. And hopefully then the drivers will go back into their boats.
That's at the beginning of the parade. That's our Bergamo Scuba Angels. They are our safety team, an incredible team. Huge respect for these guys. They spend hours out on the water and sometimes do nothing and sometimes literally save people's lives on that boat. And as I said, they don't just do it here in Italy, they do it all around the world. And I have first-hand experience of those doctors. And yes, thank you guys, because you certainly saved me.
Yes, they are very good. We have a few of these rescue teams around the world, and they are so well trained. So all the drivers, they are well pleased that they are on site and do their good job. Yeah, they have, as you said, Shelley, saved a lot of lives. Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys, we have the. Somebody's just throwing a stick off the side of the boat. Oh, wow, look at that view. That is stunning. This is the River Po in San Nazaro, Italy. And what a view from that drone. That is high. This is our safety team again doing their parade, enjoying their flyby, which rightly so they should. And there we have the Abu Dhabi houseboat. I don't know if Guido Capellini is on the houseboat today or whether as a team man. Oh, he is. The team manager is on the houseboat today, entertaining the clients and watching on his team. He'll have another radio man in the radio man tent talking to both the drivers, Rashid and Salem. Still not in our boats. We're just holding them on the dock, I'm afraid. The only racing that's going on at the moment is the safety crew. They're doing a lovely parade lap.
I think I know why. And there might be that we will have what we call a rolling start. That means that the boats will go out, going after each other in the starting order, and then the starter the UAM officials will decide when the start will go as a rolling start, not a start from the pontoon of the lights. I know it's boring, but sorry, it could be for safety reasons because all the debris is in front of the boats on the pontoon. But if they go out on the water, they will probably, with their wash, get the debris away so they can race. You can see Mette Bjerknes is still walking on the pontoon, not in her boat yet.
I'm very disappointed that we're not doing a pontoon start. That's what I love about circuit racing.
I didn't say that we couldn't do it or must do it, but it could be a solution to do a rolling start.
Yeah, and at the moment we just want to go racing, so if we have to, we have to. But coming from offshore, where everything's a rolling start, I love the start from the pontoon. To me, that is what makes the circuit so exciting, where they all charge together down to that first mark. So here we've definitely got a drivers meeting on the pontoon with Pelle Larsen and Jason Brewer, who's the flag marshal. I would imagine he is explaining the situation to all the racers and trying to come up with a solution. Maybe he's talking about that rolling start, Morten. And we'll find out soon what the solution is. But everyone is trying so hard here to get this race off. But it's force majeure, I'm afraid, guys. It's just not allowing it to happen at this precise moment in time. But the drivers are definitely coming down to their boats. They all look like they're forcefully walking to their boats.
Settimo posto il numero 96 dalla Finlandia, Rup Virtanen con 10 punti. Ottavo posto dalla Lituania con il numero 42 Edgar Riacco con 9 punti. Segue il pilota francese numero 33, fratello di Peter Morin, quindi dalla Francia a 9 punti. Decimo posto per il pilota monegasco Giacomo Sacchi, il pilota che ha conquistato, come dicevamo prima, la pole position, quindi un ottimo inizio per il momento nella campo di Sannazzaro. Proseguiamo con l'11° posto il pilota slovacco che non è presente oggi, Thomas Cermak, con 3 punti, e chiude attualmente la zona punti con il 12° posto Nikita Lix dalla
You can see there Duarte Benavente getting into his boat in the foreground here. Andre in the back there. Luca just putting on his white crash helmet with the white overalls, getting into his boat.
Il Gran Premio dell'Emilia Romagna che si disputerà qui sulle acque di Sannazzaro.
Ci sei? Alex, come va?
Vedi.
Sì, sei troppo lontano, Lorenzo. Diciamo bellissimo al palo.
Sicuramente adesso sarà una fase per tutti i piloti impegnati dove incomincerà a salire l'adrenalina. Sono scafi che riescono a sviluppare una
Yeah, you can see now Andreas Woodlong, they are being strapped into their boats. His dad is strapping him in.
dei bolidi che sprezzano, raggiungono
Andre drives cruise ships for a living, which is pretty incredible. I said to him yesterday, surely is that not so slow and do you not get so bored and fall asleep? And he said, no, I love it. He said it's very calming and peaceful. So yes, learning to be I think he's nearly qualified as a cruise ship captain.
Yes, that's true. So they're 2 different kind of boats, 2 different, but they're all aqua vessels, but 2 different kinds. Yes, that's for sure. Since the drivers are now making them ready, hopefully we will have a start pretty soon. Then, so it's going to be interesting to see whether it will be a light start or a rolling start. We are hoping for a light start, aren't we?
We're definitely hoping for a light start. Unfortunately, we are quite a long way away from where that pontoon meeting was held with Pelle Larsen. So we didn't get the lowdown. But watch this space, and I think we might be going shortly.
Sicuramente, come ben sapete, in questa fase preparatoria ci sarà stata una concreta e intensa idratazione del corpo, perché all'interno di questi cockpit possiamo raggiungere tranquillamente i 50 gradi, quindi sicuramente lo sforzo fisico che deve durare all'incirca per una quarantina di minuti durante la manifestazione sicuramente mette a dura prova il fisico.
Saying they can't hear us at home.
Qua mi senti?
Well, you can see now they're craning out boats. This is Camaraderie boat, which is being craned out. I wonder why. Maybe it's so full of water after been lying there for over an hour now.
No idea, Morton.
Well, I hope that they're only craning out this boat only, not all of them.
I think if we see another one being craned out, one of us may have to take a walk and find out what's going on for the poor people at home.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The rest of them want to stay. That's my daughter. Yeah, slings are on, the crane's coming.
Well, the latest thing we just heard now is that it's up to the drivers now. If they would like to go, they are free to go for a parade lap. And then if they want to be craned out and not start in the race, it's up to them. Because there's a lot of things on stake at the moment. And if you, as it was said, if you have a crash here and ruin your boat, there are 2 more races to go in Portugal in just a few weeks. So they might not be able to repair them before that. So we could end up with some drivers taking out their boat.
So here we are on the parade lap. So at least we're going to see the boats. Beautiful shots from the drone here in San Nazaro on Lake Po. These guys are literally just going out for the parade at the moment, and we will then see if they choose to race or not. I think the UIM have actually had a discussion with the racers and said it's a difficult decision for us to make, and they're trying to make it all together. The UIM is very sensibly saying to the racers, what do you want to do? Because as Morton said, they cannot afford the damage and then not make it to Portugal.
anthem agli agliatei. Con il numero 30 Sam Whitland.
So we are doing the parade lap, people, but it's still not decided whether the race will start. Some boats have already craned out because they just do not want to be involved with the damage. And of course, we've got to remember it's a safety reason as well. Matt Palfreman, Kingfisher, Fire and Security, number 14.
Seguito dal numero 2 per la Svezia, Johan Ostenberg.
The UIM have said to the racers, if you don't want to run because you don't want to risk the damage to your boat, then that's fine. I mean, that's always the rule, to be honest, in powerboat racing. If you're not happy with the conditions, you're the captain of the ship and you pull the plug. But this is a rather odd situation for the racers to be in, where I think maybe the whole fleet may say, this is just not going to happen today. So hold the line, caller. That's all I can say is enjoy the parade, and we'll get some more information for you as soon as possible.
I have been trying to count all the boats which went out now, and I believe I came to 13 or 15 boats out of the 20. So some of them have taken up the boats, but there will be a lot of boats on the water for the race anyway.
So Owen Jelf there, number 3. He is 9th position on the grid. And currently 15th in the championship. Meta has withdrawn from the race. She is lifting her boat out, and she didn't even want to risk doing a parade lap with the conditions out there. So she's a tough cookie as well. She doesn't give in very easily. We literally have logs floating before us, sat in the commentary box. I think Edgaris Riabko has pulled his boat. He's back. He's on the crane, back on the trailer. These boats take hours of preparation, time, money, effort, energy, and sometimes it's just not worth it to break all of that finesse and expertise that's gone into making the boat run just perfectly and dialed in. It can sometimes take over a year to dial these boats in, as we've seen with Tobias and his new boat. You know, anyone who's powerboat raced in any class, in offshore, in circuit, hydroplane, you get a new boat. It really does take you a good year to get used to her and dial her in, get the right props, get the right balance, the weight. Obviously, the conditions are changing all the time, depending on how rough the water is. But that basic dialed-in line that you start as a benchmark. And look at this log. We've got a log literally floating in front of the pits at the moment on your screen. And these aren't small. These would punch a hole in these boats. And at 120 mile an hour, I don't want to even describe to you what would happen to the boat when they literally are skimming across the surface on those sponsons. Yeah, we've got RPM. Peter Moran has retired and pulled. This is quite heartbreaking, actually. Oh, Morten, are we going for a cup of tea?
Yeah, I believe we have to right now. So because now it seems like they are craning out a lot of boats. Oh, that means that the driver has now been out to see by himself the conditions on this river for the moment, and obviously it's not good, as you can see yourself, seeing the alongside the bank there, all the debris, and for me this looks now like a cancellation of the race. I'm sorry to tell you that. Okay, Shelly's now going down to find out what's going on, and I'll keep you entertained in a minute. But there is obviously too much at stake for this. They're saying that if we risk the boat at this race, then they will have no boats to race with for the next two races.
So you can see there, even the radio men of certain teams have packed up and are walking back from their station. Morten, unofficially, we think the race is going to be cancelled and called. We are just waiting for the final confirmation from the Italian Federation and the UIM. But my co-commentator here, my Italian co-commentator, you are my English-speaking co-commentator. My Italian co-commentator has said to me unofficially, it looks like it's not going to happen today. Which is a real shame, because the location is beautiful. We've got thousands of spectators here along the riverbank waiting to watch the spectacular F2 World Championships.
Da domani me ne occupo chiaramente. Da domani bisogna iniziare. Ora c'era questa gara qua perché c'è poi i problemi. Quindi da domani ci occupiamo pure della gara dei uomini. Certo è chiaro che voi consiglieri degli esperti di diporto, se deste una mano sarebbe sicuramente fighissimo.
Va bene, ci possiamo aggiornare tra 3 giorni? Cioè, fanno cincini. Che c'è da fare? Provare a sentire, io sento, sento Matteo, di lavorare, poi Yuri non so la disponibilità, però anche passata sta gara qua, per il ritorno, anche lui avrà.
As you can see there, we have the Abu Dhabi and the Sharjah team all retiring. We are still trying to find you a definitive decision made by the UIM and the Italian Federation here and the organisers here from San Nazaro.
Can you say something? Yeah. Can you tell us? We found a radio man here now for boat number 30, and can you tell me exactly what's going on?
The race has now been officially cancelled.
For what reason?
As you can see, the debris coming down the river is just too much. It's impossible. They just went out on a parade lap. Sam could even see wood below the water. So it was a total no-go. I think it's correct decision. Whether it will get better, I don't know the area. Local people might know better. But at the moment, it's cancelled officially.
Thank you very much for that information. Thank you. That is what we were afraid of, so that this race will now be cancelled. And it is, as you heard, officially, it was cancelled. So I'm sorry to tell you all this, but that's how it is. It's too dangerous to drive in these conditions.
Yes, that was Keith Whittle you were talking to from Sam Whittle's team, father and radio man for Sam. And yes, I heard what you said, unfortunately, in my ear, Morten. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely sorry to say I'm afraid it's game over for today here in San Nazaro. The third round of the F2 World Championships has been cancelled. And that is due to all the debris flowing down the river after torrential rain just before we arrived. We've been battling with it all weekend, and the local authorities have done an amazing job to even get us out to qualifying this morning. But it's just not going to happen now. The river has risen quite high, and we have literally trees floating down the river. So I am going to sign off and go and enjoy a cup of tea. And I'm going to do some interviews with all the racers to try and get what their point of view was it all about, which we will get up on Facebook later in a couple of weeks' time after we've got home and edited it all. So, Morten, thank you very much. We never actually got to commentate on a race live together, but do you know what? I know it would have been dynamic.
Yes, I agree with you on that, but hopefully we can do it next year, because we are working on a plan to see if we can do something more about this. So, yep, I agree with you. It was very sad that the decision was taken to cancel the race, but it was on the safe side only, and that's what's most important. We can't risk lives. We have to take care of all the drivers and bring them all home. So thank you very much. It has been a pleasure, Shelley, to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Morten, and thank you to the Italian Federation, who have been so accommodating to us and allowing us to join them in their commentary booth with all their professional cameramen. It was going to be a great show, but not to be. I'm Shelley Drury-Lee, British Powerboat Champion, and I am going to sign off now and wish you all the rest of a lovely weekend.